In a textbook DSM-5 case of pathological sociopathy, Rachael MadCow wins the trifecta of Trump derangement syndrome, pathological bullshitting, and being a candidate for civil commitment. When you take the entire clan of demon rats as a whole, they would be better suited to occupying a special ward at Creedmoor Psychiatric Hospital or Bellevue than being members of a political party in the United States of America. Hello, my friends. This is Dave from Whirlwind Revolt. It is March 27th, 2019, and not a day goes by that the demon rats and their media collaborators, that's what I call them, media collaborators, don't fail to put a spin on something that is patently obvious. And that is why the mainstream media, with the exception of Fox News, which is a relative newcomer to the scene, the mainstream media's view numbers are plummeting, while Fox News is skyrocketing. Because people, after over 2 years of this bullshit, have seen enough nothing burgers and have been led by the nose down the garden path, like you remember back in the day when they had this thing in Chicago about Al Capone's fortune. And they drug it along, and there was nothing there but a dusty old empty wine bottle. That's what they got. The Mueller investigation found nothing that Donald Trump or anyone in his team did anything wrong, completely exonerated him, and now Rachael MadCow says, oh, I know why they didn't find anything, because Russia runs our government. Are you out of your freaking mind? Russia runs our government. Oh my God. Can you believe this? If I was taking LSD, I couldn't come up with such bullshit. I just couldn't fathom that in my head for some reason. Just unbelievable. And the Foxtrot over in the land of the Joeys and the Roos, that failed to do anything, as far as I know. Although it's out there if anybody wants to see it. It's on my BitChute channel, Net for Truth USA. And that is going to be the downfall of John Podesta, the molester. And Jesse Smollett, even though the prosecutor says he's guilty, walked free with a $10,000 fine, and he had to do community service in one of John Podesta's social justice warrior organizations. And now they're thinking about turning the case over to the FBI. Yeah, okay, that's like turning the chickens over to the Fox house. Oh my God. What is this country coming to? We have become, I tell you what, we've become a nation of retards. A nation of retards. You got kids spending $80,000 of their parents' money going into debt to study political science and basket weaving or whatever the hell they're doing in there, and they come out more stupid than when they went in. Unbelievable. When my father came over from Austria, from the town of Trento, which was then in Austria, he brought with him his grade school textbooks, meticulously written. And the stuff that they were teaching, they don't even teach in college here. And that was grade school over there. We're teaching our children evolution, which is a state-sponsored pagan religion. Man came from a rock. I don't know how much LSD you have to be smoking to believe that, but that's what they're teaching them. They're teaching them all of this social justice warrior crap. Everybody's a winner. Go into a baseball game. Everybody gets a trophy. You're all one. Nobody's a loser. Because they might get their feelings hurt. You got 57 different varieties like Heinz ketchup of things between men and women that some of them, they can't even define what the hell this stuff is, but they call it what you want. What gender are you? Male, female, male, prefer not to say, or other. Unfreaking believable. We have become a nation of retards, and this political correctness crap is going to be the end of this country if these people are not excoriated and made social pariahs for their stupid beliefs. Everything's free in America. Buy 3 tires and get 1 free. You paid twice for the first one, you asshole. Unbelievable. They should ban that word from the airwaves on advertisements. There is nothing in this world that is free. And what, pray tell, is the advantage of being an American citizen when somebody can come up from south of the border, don't even speak the language, and gets everything taken care of? His housing, his food, and his medical care all taken care of. What is the advantage of becoming an American citizen? Because you lose all of that. American citizens don't get everything free. American citizens who risk their lives in defense of this country and come back home screwed up mentally and physically don't get everything free. So when is it that we're going to straighten up the mentality of this country by completely socially ostracizing these idiots? These, I don't know what to call them. They're below retards. Retards have more sense than these people. They would occupy a ward at Creedmoor where they got people sitting there in a pile of their own crap and not even care because they're so disconnected from reality. It's unbelievable, folks. It's unbelievable. My head is exploding. I think that someday I'm going to wake up and this was all a dream. This was all a dream that was caused by when I took a half a tab of Orange Sunshine back in 1973 and I rode the subways home, and that was a trip standing in the front of the first car and everything flying past me, and I looked like Star Trek. And that was the last time I ever touched anything. I don't touch aspirins anymore because I don't know what's in them. Speaking of which, turn the TV on. I don't have cable, but I have airwave digital TV with an antenna. And every other commercial is something that treats some minor crap, some little rash, and it could kill you. It can make you want to kill yourself. It can make your liver explode. It can make your brain contract some kind of fatal virus. It can make you have muscle spasms that never go away. Oh yeah, you can keep that shit. Unbelievable, folks. It's unbelievable. But what's going to come out with this FISA D-class, that's going to be unbelievable. What's going to come out with this Jesse Smollett case and who put the fix in, that's going to be unbelievable. What's going to come out with the Kangaroo Land Foxtrot, when that is discovered and proven beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty, that is going to be unbelievable as well. what's gonna come out about a certain person whose initials are Roger Baker George that has been dead since February. When that comes out, and all the decisions that that person was a part of become nullified because of the persistence of life, so to speak, in the absence of video and in the absence of any concrete evidence whatsoever that this person has not shuffled off this mortal coil, that is going to rock the house as well. So the more foxtrots, the more bullshit stories that they engage in, the more incredibly stupid narratives that they conjure up to attempt to keep the coup d'etat that happened on November 22nd, 1963, with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. This is not a coup against President Trump. This is an attempt to keep the coup, the silent coup, the coup that was covered up by the complicit mainstream media, to keep that in place without having it exposed. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that coup did happen. And we've been living a lie fed to us by the mainstream media ever since. They are complicit in the assassination of a duly elected president, and therefore they are just as guilty as the people who pulled the trigger. Lee Harvey Oswald had not a damn thing to do with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. That is a fact. My good friend Arthur Burnclow, who was a 13-year Marine sniper in Vietnam, went in with the advisors and came out with the helicopter, one of the last helicopters that flew off the roof of the U.S. Embassy building in Saigon when it was overrun, stood on that window and said he couldn't make the shot. And I believe my friend Arthur Burnclow. Jesse Ventura said on one of his programs that he stood in that window and he couldn't make the shot either. All of the stories that have been fed to us, the fake attacks, the fake shootings, the crisis actors that have been advertised for openly on Craigslist, they will be exposed. We are the news now. We are the investigative reporters that go after the facts and attempt to put the pieces of the puzzle together so that it makes a picture that is recognizable. What we are ending up with is a picture that we do not like. This looks like a Picasso with the nose and the eyeballs out of joint and facial features that a monkey would draw. They've gotten away with it for so long because the law enforcement agencies, at least the head of the law enforcement agencies, the premier law enforcement agency in the world, was in their back pocket. That is going to end. And they know it's ending, and they know it's coming down upon them. And they are looking straight down the barrel of the rifle that's going to shoot them for committing treason against the United States of America. And we should settle for no less than the death penalty for anyone who betrays his country. And make no mistake, this was no mistake. This was a cabal of criminals centered out of Chicago, with Hillary Clinton as one of their main operatives, gathering information, putting people in compromising positions, whether they be drugged or not, going on Jeffrey Epstein's island to do God knows what. And we know what it is, but I'm not going to say it because there might be children listening. And the 800,000 children that are missing in the United States every year, no one ever says a word. Stony Stone and I, Weeping Angel, and a few others are the only ones on this channel that consistently mention this fact and put it out there. And this is not some figure that I pulled out of my ass. This comes directly from the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, who, by the way, employs Laura Silsby under another name, the same Laura Silsby that attempted to kidnap 33 children out of Haiti during the earthquake, was caught by the Haitian police, tried, convicted, and imprisoned in a Haitian prison. And who got her out of there? None other than the oven mitt fashionista and her rapist husband. You put two and two together. When Donald Trump closed the border and seized the assets of these people, they ran out of their supply of adrenochrome, which is taken from the bodies of terrified children before they are sacrificed to Molech. And Andrew Cuomo of New York presided over the passage of a bill that can only be rationally and with any sense of sanity be called the infanticide bill. And legislators in New York applauding the passage of that bill. We, our taxpayers, are funding the sacrifice of children to a pagan god. And this, if you think is crazy, I'll tell you what's crazy. I'll tell you what's crazy. I'm not crazy for saying it. You're crazy for not believing it with all the evidence that's piled up that supports the allegation. That's what's crazy. And I don't care how insane it sounds. That's how they get away with this shit. They do insane shit that nobody would believe. And guess what? Nobody believes it. And if nobody believes it, no action is taken upon it. I knew about this shit back in 95. There is no other way to say it but to say it straight out. And I feel for those people, members of these children's families, their father, their mother, their brothers and sisters, that I am loath to even say it over the public airwaves. Because, God forbid, they never heard this before and they think their child is just missing. And it is a good possibility that they're not only missing, but they've been part of a satanic ritual abuse sacrifice. Something so horrific that it is beyond description. For me to sit here and say that and put these people through the trauma of just thinking about it gives me pause. But I have to say it because no one else is saying it. And you can believe what you want about me. I really don't give a rat's ass. Jesus said, "You will know them by their fruits." If I know something and I say nothing, I'm just as guilty as the people who are doing it. And I don't want to put myself in their camp when it comes the day of judgment. And they don't believe in the day of judgment. They believe that they're going to get away with this. They're going to live forever. They're going to drink their adrenochrome or inject it or whatever the hell they do with it. And they passed this mentality, this pagan religion, this system of beliefs and practices to their children and to their grandchildren and to their great-grandchildren. It's a family affair that goes back to when Joseph walked out of the land of Ur in biblical times. This has been going on damn near forever. And the people who do this sort of thing, the death penalty is too merciful. You never were able to dissuade someone from doing a crime by making the penalty so outrageous and so horrific, because these people are so sick that they think that they will never be discovered, and if they're never discovered, they will get away with their crimes and they'll die having never served a day in prison for the hundreds of millions of people they've murdered over the years. That's about to change. Because the people that they had in their pocket, the law enforcement agencies, the mainstream media, are no match for hundreds of thousands of citizen journalists going after the truth. And they've censored us, they've shadow banned us, but there are other venues, other means, and now, since they've done this to myself, to Stony Stone, to Weeping Angel, to War Drummer, and to hundreds of others who are just out there wanting to know the truth. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I will retract it with as much enthusiasm as I put out what I was wrong about. Because nobody pays me to do this. They couldn't pay me to do this shit. I would much rather be out making Jeep videos and videos camping with my dogs or videos of my woodworking skills. And I could never, ever, ever, ever believe that I would be doing this. But I'm stuck doing it. I'm stuck doing it because I have to do it. I'm stuck doing it because if I don't do it, I will have to answer to a higher power for not doing it. The money I could be making, taking the time I'm devoting to doing this, to doing videos that would never be censored, cats playing with toilet paper, dogs eating wood out in the woods, and you've seen my videos doing that. They would never be censored. They would never be shadow banned. They would never be demonetized. And they never get old. So people watch them over and over and over again. But I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, this video is not going to get any more views because it's 2 weeks old and it's on a political topic that, hey, it was last week. What's new today? The same way with the John F. Kennedy assassination. Oh, that was 55 years ago. What's that got to do with what's going on today? Well, my answer to that question is, well, if it doesn't have any relevance to what's going on today, why don't you release the autopsy photos and all the other evidence that you're holding secret about the John F. Kennedy assassination still today? And I'll give you the answer to why you're doing that. Because the people who are complicit in that assassination and that coup d'etat back on November 22nd, 1963, are still alive today. And they're still in the government today. And they're still influencing what goes on in our government today. That's why. If we want our country back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take it back. They're not going to hand it back to us and say, you won. Because in their minds, they can never lose. And in a way, they're right. because somebody has got somebody in their pocket. Just like J. Edgar Hoover had dossiers on everybody. So, in effect, he was running the government. Because if one of them got out of the line that he had the goods on, he would drop the bomb. Open an investigation, and you'd be gone. Is this a way a constitutional republic is supposed to be run? And I get a kick out of people who say this is a democracy. No, this is not a democracy. It was never intended to be a democracy. A democracy is two wolves and a lamb sitting down and deciding what they're going to eat for dinner. That's a democracy. This is a constitutional republic. There's a difference. But it's been turned into a democracy by dead people voting, by people who are not citizens voting and voting multiple times, and influencing an election by fraudulent means is sedition. It's treason. It should be an offense punishable by death. You make the punishment fit the crime. And obviously, it's been a long time since that's happened. The courts in this country are maritime law. Lawyers are members of the Bar Association, which stands for British Accreditation Registry. This is British law. We're under the Queen. The Queen still runs the government. So did we win the Revolutionary War? Are we really independent from Great Britain? I'm beginning to wonder. Listen, folks, it's getting late. I've had your ear for going on a half an hour now. And I want to tell you, we are going to keep fighting. We're going to keep opening channels. They'll shut us down. We'll just open another one, no problem. We're not making any money doing this. None of these channels are monetized at the moment. So, if you like what we do here, please kick $1 into my PayPal account or my GoFundMe account. If everybody did that, we'd be good. But it only takes a minute, and it would really help. Get my book, Land of Childhood's Fears. You can get an autographed copy. There's links in the description, or you can buy it from the publisher at LuLu.com, or from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever you want to get it from. But I suggest that you get it directly from LuLu.com. There's no markup on LuLu.com, and you won't have astronomical shipping times because they have to order it from the publisher if they don't have it, and then it's back to you. So, with that, I'm going to say goodnight. This is Dave from Net4 Truth USA. Subscribe to all my channels because you never know. And this will save you hunting around. And you can always find me. You can always call me. My contact information is at the end of this video. This is Dave from Whirlwind, Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net4 Truth USA 2, saying good night. Make America great again. God bless and Godspeed. Autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears will be sent to you for a $100 donation. You can get the book from Amazon or buy it directly from the publisher at LuLu.com. Links are in the description section. Please subscribe to our backup channel, Inglorious Patriots. We fly so close to the target, we're on our third fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. Links are in the description section.